because the social
Back, everyone. We're here with our friend Ariel, and she's a longtime friend, a friend of a friend that we then got to know a little bit more. Randy, how are you? If Randy's watching, but we're having Ariel on because she is very unique in her approach to Instagram. In fact, it's very refreshing to watch her Instagram videos. She makes me laugh. I know I've sent a few to Jeff, and I said, Jeff, Ariel's really good at this. She's only got one challenge, which is let's stay consistent. But other than
That's right.
that, damn, the creativity on this is really top notch, and that's why we wanted to talk to you. So, Jeff, anything you want to add before we jump right into it?
No, I think it's great that we are interviewing Ariel because this is, if you go stalk her as you should, you will see that she's real and her challenges are real. And this is relatable to all of you. So pay close attention.
Very good. Very true. Very true. All right, Ariel, if I'm looking at your Instagram for everybody listening in, it's 3030 Ariel, Ariel, real estate. So, number one, go follow her. Number two, I love the way that you come in and you're so friendly when it comes to the hooks, because that's what gets me at the very beginning. Those hooks, you're smiling, right? Or you ask a weird question, or you're doing something interesting. How long does it take you to get those hooks in place, and how often do you have to reshoot them, or just think about the whole process?
So it's kind of unique because the more people I talk to who do this and are, do this like as a living, they really plan out all of their videos. And I don't know if it's better or worse that I don't do this, but I just get this idea in my head of what topic I'm going to talk about. And then I turn on the camera and I have no idea what's going to come out. And there's always just a random hook in there. And so I have always loved being in front of a camera. I like being in front of people. I was a child actor, the whole thing. Don't ask too many questions. We won't go there.
Wow.
But so I have an enjoyment for entertainment, right? But I got sick of seeing the same polished videos online, and I thought, okay, how am I going to mix just who I am? If someone meets me for coffee, I can be professional, but I'm going to say something off kilter at some point, right? I'm going to say something embarrassing or do something awkward. And so I want to attract the same people that I would be attracted to. So how do I do that? And the hook really just, this is the worst answer. I wish I had some formula. I just turn on the camera and talk to it, and something comes out, and I just edit out all the other random stuff and find a hook in there.
Listen, Jeff can relate to that. Okay. Jeff's really good at that. That's pretty much how he plans all his stuff, and it turns out great. So it's very interesting. Jeff?
I was just going to say, I put the most emphasis on hooks more than anything. It's the hook is everything to me in the video, because otherwise they're not going to watch it. So it doesn't matter how great the video is.
Right.
If your lead-in sucks, they're gone.
Yeah, very true. And my favorite one that I've seen recently is the one where it starts off with you saying, "Don't tell my husband," right? Places to cheat on your diet, and then and then you go all throughout the house, and then you're cheating on your diet. That's the best. It's so good. In fact,
that came a bit.
Well, I have a couple of questions on that one, because I think that can be a series, number one, for every new listing you get, right? Amazing. Places to cheat on my new listing, right? That perfect. Eating something, a cookie, or just don't overeat, okay? Bring Randy into the video.
Yeah, exactly. He's like looking for me. That's a good idea.
That's so good. All right, that's number one. Number two, how did you just use your phone? Did you have somebody follow you? Just set it up? What is this? Because it's really fun, and I think this is a series.
Okay, I like the idea of that being a series, and I'm happy to hear you say that, because I think my biggest struggle with not being consistent is I think I need something groundbreaking and fresh every time. So if that were just a series, I could go through all of our listings. We have a ton of inventory in our market right now, so I could just go through all of our listings and make it a whole series. But you guys would shame me probably if you saw the way that I filmed these. I mean, I'm set up with like random books and vases holding my phone in place. I'm like in between couch cushions, putting my phone there, you know, making sure it holds. Like, I have a tripod. I could use a tripod. I forget to take it with me every time I go anywhere. So in between couch cushions it is. And I just have my little tiny microphone, and so the audio works. It's all ratchet. Like none of it is professional.
That's an incredible answer. That's an incredible answer, because that's real. That's raw and real. Now, I will give you a piece of advice, like I give everyone. Buy like 5 tripods. Leave one at the work office, leave one at your home office, leave one in your car, or just obviously it's working for you, so screw it.
Or just
a tripod would probably make it easier.
Carry lots of books and lots of pillows, and you'll be okay.
That's right.
But you know what?
Most of our listings.
Stop making excuses. For everybody listening, stop making excuses.
Yeah.
That was also filmed at an open house that it had just been a little while until anyone had come through. And that's where I film 95% of my videos are at open houses when it's I have time in between people coming through. And so it's a double whammy, right? Because I'm already sitting there. I'm handling maybe other work, but why not film a video? I'm in a beautiful home. I don't have to set aside additional time. I'm already there. You know, I work in a second home market, so all of our homes are usually furnished anyway. So it's nice to be able to, you know, utilize the books that they already have there for me as my tripods. But
I like that. And then the other one that I wanted to mention was the one where you're talking about your baby, and you stand up and you cradle your baby bump. And I thought that's so cool that you're incorporating things that are happening to you. A lot of the times we don't use what we've got to be able to connect with our audience. And I think that makes you more approachable. And was that an open house as well that you were sitting in, or what was that?
Yeah, that was an open house on one of my listings. And, you know, it had been maybe 10 minutes and someone actually came through while I was videoing. And so I just turned it off and then, you know, got back at it. But yeah, I mean, I thought through that when I went under contract on a new build. What happened in my mind was, oh my gosh, I just sent this to the title company and the projected close date is, you know, next year in November. Like, our kid's going to be a year old. That's what happened in my head.
You're going to have a child, number one.
Right. A 1-year-old. And so that's what happened in my head. And I'm like, that's a great way to put it into perspective for people. And so that's one of the things that just came out. I just turned on the video and I'm like, I can't believe I went under contract on something that's going to close when my kid's a year old.
Right. So far, 2 things. And Jeff can attest to this because Jeff speaks about this as well. Number one, you don't overthink it. In fact, you just shoot it, right? The challenge is you just need to do more of that, right?
Shoot it more. Yes.
Number one, but you're doing good. Number one. Number two, now we're figuring out when you do it. So you need to apparently do more open houses.
I do at least 2 a week, but why am I not filming at every single one? There's no excuse here. Like, I'm speaking to myself. If I were
They're so good.
I'd be like, oh yeah.
They're good. Like, your videos are good. Like, Jeff, you watch your videos, and I feel like out of a lot of people we talk to, you're very natural. And I think it has to do probably because of your child acting, or I don't know what, Ariel, I'm just going to go with that.
Who knows?
You're just so natural on the screen. Like, oh, I want to watch this person, right? It's like you captivate quickly. So what I want to know is, do you have any idea or inclination as to what you'd like to talk about? Because you show up really well, or is it really just like on the spot?
So this is my biggest struggle, and this is the reason that at least this is the excuse I use for not being more consistent, is coming up with what I'm going to talk about and how I'm going to put my own spin on it. I don't want to talk about what I think everyone else is talking about, even though I get in my own head too much about that because I follow 9 million realtors, but the average consumer does not. So I got to kind of get out of my headspace there. But sometimes I'll go off of what our team meeting has touched on. I'll write down a topic and then I'll just run with it. Sometimes I use a topic and just plug it into ChatGPT and say, hey, give me 15-second script. And it's always, buttoned up, but at least I can read it and get some inspiration of where to go. I've done the best when I plan it out. I've used your content calendar before, and that was really helpful. It's just sticking with it. Like I can go to the gym every morning at 5:30. Why can I not make a video 3 times a week?
Yeah. But
that's the hardest part for me.
All right. So I'm also watching your other slightly older videos, not too old, but there's one where you have the point of view where you're hosting an open house and on the weekend and it's off season, right? And that was it was short, right? Number one. And it was funny, right? You're looking at the window, longing. I think it's only, if I remember correctly, it's 2 clips. One is further out, and then one zooms into your face, you looking longing, like, and that was hilarious to me. I laughed. And the thing that Instagram is looking at the most right now, as of last week, is shares. Like they straight out said, the number one thing we're looking at in order to help you get more views are shares. And your videos, just the 3 that I brought up, those, I bet you got shares because they made people laugh and they made people engage. In fact, I know I shared it a few times. So that to me, if you just go through those 3, the sequence of those, I think all 3 of those happened at an open house, right? So
they did.
That's definitely something you have to do then. And I think the series also becomes something having to do with the open house, maybe. Like you've got the cheating, right? The eating, which is hilarious.
Right.
Like who love that? You hit up everybody because we all love sweets, right? That's one.
Of course.
And then something along the lines of the open house. I think you've got that. And then I'd love to know more about your pregnancy journey and the real estate part of it. I think that you can relate both because that was so good. That was so sincere. See, you have a natural gift that most people don't, and that you show up extremely well on camera. It's very natural, and I connect with you instantly, and so do other people. So I think now you just have to say, okay, what days am I going to show up? So right now, when you're looking at this, and you're looking at past reels that you've done just over the last maybe month or so, what's the feedback that you typically get?
The feedback once I post?
Yeah, once you post and it's out there for like a day, what's the feedback?
Honestly, every time it's, please do this more. And I'm like, I know. Yeah, I mean, I have no excuse, right? Like I took a hiatus and was pretty open about taking the hiatus. Like, hey, I'm not going to show up on here for a minute. And then when I came back, my first video, my team lead was like, are you kidding? I post 7 videos a week and I get 19 views. You haven't posted in 4 months. And now you just got 3,000 views and, 40 comments or whatever. And I'm going, I mean, it's my own problem, but the feedback is like, please do this more. And I actually, so not to derail here, but I think maybe this is something people would be interested in hearing. I don't ever post for with the idea in my head that like maybe someone will watch this and they'll want to buy a house from me. That really is not my starting point. And yet I have 3 clients who have found me on social media, and I don't have that many followers. I have like less than 1,000 followers. So
Mhm.
I think if that is your starting point, that's okay too, but it
Mhm.
does work. It does work. I mean, we're in a second home market here, and I'm showing a condo tomorrow to some folks who knew they wanted to work with someone who was similar to age and lifestyle, stage of life as they were. And they saw that I had recently, that I worked in the area. They found me online, and then they checked out my Instagram and saw that I had recently closed a condo in the building that they were interested in. And by the time we hopped on our first call, they're like, "We feel like we already know you. How's Randy?" And asking me these questions. And so I'm
Yep.
just going, this shit works. Why am I not doing it more? So I know that
Yeah.
was a rabbit trail, but I think maybe for people listening, they're going, "Oh gosh, do I have to have 50,000 followers before someone is going to listen and care, or that it's, uh, you know,
You
is it
know,
going to matter to my business?"
good point. You brought up a really good point here. And the great thing is that what TikTok did initially was it opened up the playing field so that accounts with very few followers could blow up with views. And
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, as of 2 months ago, changed their algorithm to copy that. So now small accounts can, and we're watching it happen, which is beautiful. Small accounts with very few followers now, as long as the content is on point and it's getting shared. Remember, that's the number one criteria as of last week. At least they're telling
Correct.
us. Now you can have a couple hundred, but hundreds of thousands
Interesting.
and millions of views. And that's cool. That has never
That is
happened
cool.
with Instagram. So your point, you know, you're right. It's like let's just show up more, right? Let's work on that hook at the beginning because you have great hooks. You like jump right into it, especially with your little baby mic now, which is the best. I got a little baby
The old
mic.
tiny mic.
It's so good. You should have a little hand with the tiny mic. It'd be even funnier.
One of the
So good.
tiny hands. Yes,
Yeah, tiny hands
yes,
with a tiny mic.
yes.
This tiny mic needs a tiny hand.
That's right. Oh, that's amazing.
You
Don't
can pull
tempt
it off.
me.
Listen, you can pull it off. I can't. It's the best.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, no, forget it. Forget it. Yeah, I failed. All right. So I'm excited to see now this progression because you just need to show up more. It's very few times
That's
that
right.
Jeff and I say you just need to show up more. We're impressed by your presence. You've got this down. Like you edit so well. Like you have just a natural eye for editing and engaging. So for you, it literally is like just showing up. You.
Doing it more.
It's pretty nutty. You're like really good at this. That's why I wanted to
Thanks.
interview you. I wanted to show people like Ariel's really good. Watch her. Let her inspire you. Copy her with your own twist and just keep on watching what she's putting out. So great job, Ariel.
Thank you. Thank you. That's encouraging. And now I have to film a video today because I feel like, I got all pumped up, and no, it's true. There are no excuses. And, you know, like we can choose our client base the same way a client base can choose us. And so if if like, why would I be a different way online than I'm going to be when they meet me? And they're going to go, "Oh wow,
Yeah.
she's always wearing a pantsuit and is, so meek and mild online, and then we met her and she's way different than that. I would have never expected that." I never want that. And if someone's turned off by me online, that's fine, because they're going to be turned off by
Yeah.
me in person as well. So they don't need to waste their time, and I don't need to waste mine. So,
True.
I
I
think
like
I
that.
think that's the scariest part about just being yourself is, oh, well, what if not everyone likes you? Well, not everyone's going to like you anyway. So
Nope.
you might as well turn them off from the get-go, and just
That's
attract the
right.
people that you would be attracted to.
That's very true. Very true. You
So
said something that
now I
caught
need to
Jeff's
just take my own
attention.
advice.
No, but that's okay. We're all in the same boat there. Okay. Jeff says, I love the quote. If you post without the intent of selling something, it probably increases the likelihood of it being more relatable. entertaining, etc. Uh, Jeff got onto that really good quote. It's true. A lot of the times we're posting to have a certain result, and we're not waiting to see what actually happens just based on the sincerity of the content. And you do that really well. I think that's why that you succeed though. So great catch, Jeff. Jeff had spotty reception, but he's listening in, so that's why he chimed in that way. Ariel, thanks for doing this. In fact, I would love to. Well, how far along are you in your pregnancy?
I'm not due till the end of October, so we've got time.
Okay. So with Instagram's new releases and their algorithm changed, I bet that within 30 days you will see a significant difference. That's how crazy it's been. I looked back just 30
Really?
days. I went from I get about a little over 100,000 different new unique channels that we reach. And then I went back 30 days as of this morning, and it's past 500,000. And it's just like, what happened with Instagram?
No
So
way.
yes. So I think 30 days from now, I think we could take a look. Well, what does Jeff say? He says, I want to do it again when I'm in a better location. Yeah, let's follow up. So I think challenge granted, yes. 30 days, what do we be at? August, beginning of August. All right.
Okay.
Well, this also challenges
I'm in.
you.
Yeah, I love this. I love a game.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
like
this
to
is good.
lose, so this is perfect.
Listen, you're gonna lose. I'm
That's
joking. It's good.
right.
It's gonna be good. I'm telling Randy. This is so good.
No, if you get Randy involved, like we can't even play sports together. We're
Oh
both so
my God.
competitive. So this is perfect.
Terrible. All right, 30 days about. All right. So
Okay.
beginning of August, and we're gonna see how often you post. So it doesn't matter, like, feel comfortable however often you're gonna post. We're gonna be looking at uh the engagement, and more importantly, you're gonna be able to share with us those things on the back end, the insights. We won't be able to see those.
Sure.
So you just say, hey, how has it changed? And is Instagram rewarding you specifically, right? So
Sure.
I'd love to see that, and then tell us any stories you want. I think 30 days in, that'd be good.
All right, I'm in. I love that challenge.
I like it.
And
I like it.
yeah, Jeff, for sure. Just reach out. I love the challenge. So we'll do it 30
All
days
right.
in. I'm gonna set
We're
some
gonna,
goals and put them on a whiteboard or something. What all
you know
realtors
what?
do.
That's a good
Vision
idea.
board.
Challenge accepted.
That's right.
CK, I don't know if CK's on or Monch, but let's have Ariel as one of our guests in the content workshop type thing with our coaching clients instead of the podcast. Because we would love to dig in, because she's going to be doing this for the next 30 days, and she's a real estate agent. So she's going to incorporate both. So I think let's do that. Monch got it. Perfect. All right, Ariel, thank you so much for doing this. This is really
Sweet.
good.
Thanks, Tristan. Yeah, this is fun. I'm
This is
pumped.
very fun.
I'll for sure share it when it's up and everything. So thank you guys for having me, and we'll touch base in 30 days.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank
All
you.